No. Cut the music. Cut the music. Yesterday was an embarrassment if you're a Chicago Bears football fan. Yesterday was pathetic. Yesterday, I don't even know the right words to describe how I'm feeling this morning, how you're feeling this morning, Jack. The season's over, folks. Mail it in. This team has quit. The offense has no answer, no identity, nothing. The Bears dropped 19-3 at home against the lowly New England Patriots. In a game that was probably the last win for the foreseeable future for the Bears, they couldn't even score a touchdown. The Hail Mary play, Jack, has ruined this football team. Like, they have not been able to recover from the game against Washington. Like, this is a totally different team. They have no heart. They have no resiliency. It's time to mail in the season, folks. Like, whatever great wishes, whatever optimism you had about the Bears to hopefully get this thing back on track, it's over. It's gone. And what's worse, nothing's going to happen this week. For everyone thinking that the Bears will fire Matt Eberflus, for thinking that they will fire Shane Waldron, folks, we would have already heard the news. It would have happened already. I'm disgusted. I'm slowly pulling my fan card away, especially this week, knowing that we're entering Packers week and they're going to run us off the fucking field. It's vibes are at an all-time low. Welcome into the Bare Necessities podcast. He's Jack Lomax. I'm John Presnowski. Why? How are we even here, Jack? How did we get back to this dysfunction, this feeling of just total embarrassment? We're back. And I thought these days were over. We're back.
I don't know. I was just looking at the results this year, and I look at the optimism that we had after the Panthers game and the Jags game, and Caleb's putting on, multiple touchdown games, and the offense is moving and the defense is clicking, and that bye week, I'll come and look back at that bye week, and Eberflus saying it's going to take some momentum out of us. I didn't think he meant like full fucking sales were gone, like we were done. That was absolutely outrageous. Is he a coach that can't handle a fucking bye week? How insane is that? That we have to think about a coach that can't handle a bye week, and it is. It's what was the stats? 19 consecutive drives and counting without a touchdown.
It's bad. We have so many tweets that blew our mind today that we're going to get to in just a bit here. In the 2 weeks following the Washington game, the Bears have faced two bottom five defenses. They've managed 12 points in these last 2 weeks, and they've allowed 15 sacks. The Patriots had 16 sacks all year, and they had 9 yesterday on Caleb Williams. And granted, I know the Bears were without both their starting offensive tackles, so you pretty much have, 3 backups in there, maybe 4 at one point. Does it even matter at this point who was in there? You just knew Caleb was going to get killed. Like, what are we doing? Like, Jack, what are we doing? We had the number 1 pick, and we are ruining this kid 9 games into his professional career. Caleb's confidence is shot. 16 for 30, 120 yards. And granted, the good news is Caleb hasn't thrown an interception in his last 115 passes, so that's good. The bad news, though, he hasn't thrown a touchdown in his last 99 attempts. Kind of wild to see that. And if you want to look at the box score, Caleb Williams isn't turning the ball over, but the fact that we're not scoring just points to how broken this offense is. We have so many weapons. You guys know all the names on offense that we have. How can we get none of these guys open? The offense is broken, man. It is completely shot. You can't score a touchdown against the fucking Patriots? What are we doing here? What are we doing? I can't, man. I can't.
Let me ask you this.
How are we here?
All right, I'm gonna throw a hypothetical out for you. I saw this on Twitter, and I think it really is time for the Bears to sit and consider this. All right, I'm gonna throw this in left field. We haven't even discussed this. Bench Caleb Williams, and it's not because of underperforming.
I've seen some people put that out there, and honestly, I don't think that's the move to do. I think that's just going to add more to the the dysfunction that we're seeing right now is going to add to the circus, the clown show that we've seen in years past, good franchises would maybe make that move, would maybe tell him, hey, sit on the bench, collect your thoughts, and like just take a breather and see what Tyson Bagent's doing, you know, and honestly, at this point, Caleb's going to get hurt. Caleb's going to get hurt out there. He's been sacked 38 times through 10 weeks.
It's insane.
Sacked 38 times through 10 weeks. That's the most by any Bears quarterback since stats were tracked as stats. It's the most since 2002. David Carr was the only person that had more as a rookie, and it's the most since Sam Howell has been sacked in the 2023 season when he was with Washington.
So this is my thought process with this.
Ridiculous.
This is my thought process, right? Caleb Williams is behind, not even arguably, definitely the worst offensive line in. I'm going to say it in Bears history. It's that bad. It is genuinely that bad. And
that's a fair assessment.
As a rookie, you are second-guessing yourself. You're second-guessing your abilities. You're second-guessing the plays. You're second-guessing everything. You are developing bad habits. And do you know what? There were bad habits on display from Caleb Williams yesterday. He was holding the ball a little bit longer than he should have. And It is a timing thing. It's a timing thing. But at the end of the day, that is a timing thing that is going to continue into the 2025 season. You bench him now, prevent the bad habits from becoming actual habits. Let Tyson Bagent go through the rest of the year with this shit offensive line. Ryan Poles fucked it up. He had an opportunity to improve this offensive line. Every man, woman, and child on the planet fucking Earth can see that the offensive line needed upgrading, and he said, "No, I'm going to let these guys have their shot because I didn't." And here we are. We could have had Brandon Scherf for pennies on the dollar, and we said, no, we're going to continue with this offensive line that is literally walking wounded. And now we have a quarterback that is not on the same page as his offensive line. He's not on the same page as his wide receivers. And it's bad. Let Tyson Bagent take over. Let Tyson Bagent continue in this wasted season. It is a wasted season. All right? Yeah. Caleb Williams is not going to learn anything with Shane Waldron as offensive coordinator because he's not going to be there any longer, as Matt Eberflus as head coach because he will not be here any longer. It is a season where you bench your best asset, your future asset, let Tyson Bagent do his thing, and then 2025 we come back with a brand new play call, a brand new head coach, Ben Johnson. Let's go, baby, and let him start again.
I'm not sure if you caught. I've been seeing it all over Twitter. I'm not sure if you caught there was a moment in time when the game was, I think, 16-3 Patriots. It doesn't matter, but the camera saw Caleb Williams sitting next to offense coordinator Shane Waldron, and Waldron had the audacity to smile and laugh about something, and you can see the frustration in Caleb's face. He's like, really, dude? Like, you could just tell his body language is so poor. It's worse than Justin Fields' body language ever was last season. The Bears need to do something different, whether that's give offensive play calling duties to Thomas Brown, who's the passing game coordinator. He was calling plays for the Panthers last season, and I know the Panthers were absolute dumpster fire last season, but like the Bears need to do something different. And you know damn well as much as I know, they're not going to fire anybody. Eberflus is going to stick with the Bears the whole year. Waldron maybe might get let go, maybe, but I doubt it. We would have heard the news this morning. We would have woken up to the news from Rappaport or Schefter that either guy got canned, and it didn't happen. The Bears are not a serious franchise. They are not run like a serious franchise. Nothing will change. Nothing's going to change. McCaskey is a scared fool, and until you stop buying Bears gear and putting your butt in the seat at Soldier Field, and until I stop buying Bears gear with my Bears flag behind me, my Bears hat on right now, supporting this team, buying merchandise, buying tickets, until that stops, nothing is going to change. This is a dumpster fire organization. This is honestly one of the lowest times in all of Chicago's sports, not just the Bears. And I think that's what's got me most frustrating. It's got to be what's most frustrating for some of us because Like, the Bears were supposed to be the team that gave us hope. The Blackhawks suck. The Bulls suck. The White Sox literally were the worst team in baseball history last year. The Cubs are, like, kind of okay, but they're just clearly not good enough. It's, you know, the Bears were supposed to be that glimmer of hope. Like, hey, the Bears got a shot here. The Bears got some talent. And just like you said, Jack, just another wasted season in the books. Another wasted season. We have 8 more games, and I'm mailing it in, man. I'm mailing it in. It's over, guys. It's over. It's over before it even began.
I think you said it perfectly. It's because we came into this season so optimistic. We were watching, you know, Hard Knocks, and we were like, all right, this team's it. The preseason Chicago Bears 2024, we'll never forget. But the hope was there. The line was there. The only issue we had, and we always said this going in, was the offensive line. We were nervous about the offensive line, but during preseason they were fine. Granted, you don't play 100% in preseason, but whatever. That's why I think it hurts even more, and that's why it's like a kick in the teeth even more, because we had such high hopes. We're not going to. Keenan Allen's not going to resign. If Keenan Allen's got an opportunity to stay with the Bears or move to another franchise to try and be a Super Bowl contender,
this is such a waste of his professional career. Like, and the tail end of his career this season is a wash for him.
Yep. You've got. I've got multiple friends, Packers fans, saying, "Jack, we told you." I'm like, I don't want to fucking hear "I told you." I want to rant. And yes, we're going to get absolutely arsehole by you next week.
Was it wrong for us to put those high and lofty expectations on this team? Was it wrong for us to wish for 10 wins, for 9 wins? This team will be lucky to get 6 wins this year. They finished 7-10 last year. They'll be lucky to get 6 wins.
I don't think they get another win.
I mean, again, you know the schedule just as much as I do. Green Bay next, Minnesota, Detroit, San Francisco. That's the next 4 games for the Bears. Yeah. It's going to get bad, folks. It's going to get bad. That's why I'm saying let's rip the Band-Aid off now. Like, go do something else on Sundays for the rest of the season. Like, I literally am okay with it. Like, you know, of course I'll be watching. Of course, reluctantly, I'll be watching. I won't be going to the pumpkin patch with the kids or going to the mall or whatever else you want to do on the weekends. Of course I'm going to be watching because that's what I do. And, you know, I literally drain years of my soul and energy every Sunday watching this team and watching this franchise just make me fucking miserable. But this is what we do. Vibes are at an all-time low. I'm trying to remember the last time I've felt this low as a fan. And maybe it is because expectations were so high, and maybe that's on us. Sorry
for dreaming, John.
Yeah,
sorry for dreaming.
Sorry for being optimistic. Sorry for thinking that this would be the year that they would turn the corner. This isn't supposed to be a developing year. This isn't supposed to be a rebuild anymore. This was going to be the year that the team took the corner and started to compete and started to consider themselves in contention. So I think that is another layer of this as to why we're so frustrated, because
vibes are low.
They've regressed. Yeah. The offensive line is worse. The offense, which I thought was dog shit last year, is even worse than it is now. And again, Jack, we have arguably one of the best quarterback prospects I've watched tape on in my life. And we are ruining this kid. Like, we've ruined all the people before him. And it is just, it makes my skin crawl. It literally makes my skin crawl that we're doing it to this kid. And he does not deserve this. He does not deserve this dysfunction, this clown organization, like, at all. He didn't sign up for this. We chose him. And we promised him that it'd be different. And we're going to surround you with everything you need to be successful. And what have the Bears done? They've fallen flat on their face, and then they're lying to the fans saying, we're going to get this right. Bullshit. You haven't gotten it right in my whole lifetime. Ever have you gotten this fucking right. So what makes me want to believe you now?
I tell you, you just said it is. I'm not looking forward to this Sunday. Sundays are the new Mondays. I'm telling you that right now. For Chicago Bears, Sundays are the new Mondays. We don't look forward to work on a Monday. I ain't looking forward to Sunday football. I am genuinely dreading it. But here's the thing that I'm thinking of. How is Ryan Poles sat here after the results that we've just done, the 3 weeks in a row in arguably winnable games, right? Not even arguably. winnable games. Arizona is not that team. Patriots are definitely not that team. And the Commanders, yeah, they've been putting points on the board, but realistically, they were found wanting. We've just lost to the 2 rookie quarterbacks that were taken after Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams, going into that game, was probably in a better position with the Chicago Bears than Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels were going into the Commanders. They were ranked the worst team to be a part of a franchise of in last year. And with the Patriots in a rebuild, with a quarterback change. It started with Jacoby Brissett, and then they came to Drake May. How the fuck have we done that? And how is Ryan Poles sat here going, you know what though? Let's just keep it as it is. If I'm Ryan Poles, job security right now, for me, is number one. And if you think you are going to keep your job at the end of this season without making a change, without saying, all right, head brass, let's talk together. Let's make a change at offensive coordinator. We should have been done 2 weeks ago. Let's make a change at head coach. They haven't ever fired a coach mid-season. I don't give a shit. Right? If my job is on the line, and if I'm Ryan Poles, my job is on the line. You fucked this up.
Yep.
You have to sit here and say, I have to
starts
get rid
with
of
me.
Flus. Yeah,
it starts with me.
You have to do something, because let's go with the hypotheticals here. You don't fire anyone. The season's a wash. Flus is fired. Waldron's fired. The Chicago brass is saying, you know, Ryan Poles, you did screw this up. You're gone too. Alternatively, they put a new offensive coordinator in. They put a new head coach in, and the results aren't going to change. Let's say they don't change. You still made the attempt. You're still getting shit canned, but let's say they do turn around and you do get some results from Thomas Brown, or you do get some results from, I don't know, Eric Washington. I don't know. You have to do something to save your job, Ryan Poles. You have to do something.
Ryan Poles' loyalty single-handedly has cost the Bears this season. How is Matt Eberflus allowed in the building this morning when everyone knows he's a dead man walking? Like everyone knows the inevitable. Everyone knows he will not be here next season. Why are we letting him back into the building this morning? And you said it best when we started the episode today. He had every opportunity to bolster this offensive line, and he settled with below average linemen. Again, the unit, which was not great last year, somehow is worse this season. And good coaching yesterday. I know Bears were without several starters, but you're going against the Patriots, who in most statistical defensive categories were like bottom tier. I'm talking like bottom 5 of the league. Good coaching, just average coaching, would find a scheme, would find a game plan to work around that yesterday. Mm-hmm. And instead, we're seeing 79 and 65 and multiple guys just standing around while your franchise cornerstone quarterback is getting the shit knocked out of him. It's 19-3. Caleb's still out there, and no one's blocking for him. Caleb finished on the ground the last play of the goddamn game, right, and no one helped him up. The Patriots defenders helped him up, and they patted him on the head and being like, "I'm sorry, bro. Like good game. I'm sorry, bro. Like better. Like hopefully better days are ahead. Fucking take me out back and put me out of my misery." How is this real life? Ryan Poles, you want to take the North and never get it back? How about you work on your team getting a first down yesterday? How about that? The Bears were 1 for 14 on third downs yesterday. They had 142 total yards. They won the turnover battle again, and they lost. How do you not tell me coaching is the problem with this team? Make it make sense, dude. This organization sucks. Nothing's going to get done. Nothing will get done. This is a scared organization run by scared people. I think McCaskey is a clown. He's a fucking loser. I went to training camp. In August with Ashley and her father, and Ashley and her dad. We passed George McCaskey at House Hall on the training camp grounds. And both of them were like, you don't want to say something to George? Like you don't want to say hi? Like Ashley's dad went right up and walked right up to him and started talking about the stadium and this and that and blah, blah, blah. And that's a whole nother topic, the stadium. In my opinion, I truly believe, Jack, we root for a cursed franchise. And I was talking to you about this yesterday. This is a cursed franchise. We need to turn over a new leaf. We need to start a new chapter. I truly believe in my heart, in my gut, we will not be a relevant franchise until we have a new stadium, until we can start fresh somewhere else. The Soldier Field thing, it's not working anymore. Like, we need to turn a new leaf over. We need something. New ownership would be great. That'd be number one on my list, other than the stadium. That'd be number one. But we all know that's not going to happen. We all know McCaskey's will never sell. But at the very least, can someone be accountable for this mess that we're seeing? This is a mess. We deserve so much better than this bullshit. We were led to believe that this team was going to compete this year. So how do we find ourselves here? How are we ruining Caleb Williams 9 games into his career? How are we doing this? Who's accountable for this? Like, I'm sick to my stomach. I'm disgusted. And I have so many things to look forward to in my life. And somehow I keep coming back to, maybe my Bears are going to get it together finally. And they haven't done that. And they continue to disappoint and continue to frustrate me to all ends. And I'm right there with you guys. And there's no easy answer to fix this. We can pound the table and be like, Ben Johnson's going to be the guy that's going to turn this around. And, once Caleb gets a real offensive line, that's going to be do we actually know that? Like, do we really know that that's going to be the end all to end this misery, to end our woes? I just want this to end, man. Why do we have to do this year in and year out? I think we should make like a discussion group amongst Jets and Browns fans, because they're truly the only other franchises I feel like that understand our pain, understand our frustration. I know this is much more of a vent session than like a game recap, because I don't really know what to talk about the game. We usually do the good, the bad, the ugly. There was no good. Everything was bad, and it's all ugly. It's all ugly. It's bad. It's so bad. The 9 sacks that Caleb Williams had yesterday, that was the most since Justin Fields' Cleveland Browns game back in 2020, 2021, excuse me.
I remember that game.
Yeah,
Brutal.
and that was bad.
Brutal.
But that was actually a good Browns defense that the Bears actually played that day. Like, they were a very good unit going into that day. The Patriots, they had 16 sacks. 16 sacks total collectively going into yesterday's game. They had 9 yesterday.
I don't know. And good coaching, we come back to the coaching. Good coaching recognizes that an offensive line is not able to protect and allow the quarterback to do the plays that may have been drawn up at the beginning of the season. A good offensive coordinator recognizes that and say, okay, you know what we're going to be doing? We're going to be a ton of, you're holding the ball for a split second and getting 5 yards, holding the ball for a couple of seconds, getting a couple of yards. But you could see that the wide receivers had given up again. And it's not. And do you know what? It pisses me off that they do give up. But at the same time, I get it. They're trying to do all these routes, and they don't have the. It's not that they don't have the time. They're doing what they can to get into that route. But Caleb is so much under pressure that he doesn't have time to let them get. Let that play mature and get them into that position where they can throw the ball to them. So at that point, at the play call, you say, you know what, scratch every single one of these plays that's taking our quarterback 2+ seconds to hold on to it. Every single play from now on is going to be a short pass, a Luke Getsy pass. You know what? Luke Getsy might have had a good game yesterday. That was a Luke Getsy game.
It's gotten so bad, I would kill for Luke Getsy to be our offense coordinator again. Like, that is truly how bad this offense is. Like, at least Luke Getsy could run the ball. People are forgetting that. Luke Getsy divvied up carries to all of our running backs last year. Yeah. Roschon Johnson is literally will not get the ball unless we're on the goal line. DeAndre Swift had 2 plays yesterday where it's clear, man, just cut it outside, and he's not seeing it. His vision sometimes is really cloudy, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of judgmental. I think we need better than 4. I really do. I don't think he sees the holes that he doesn't process it fast enough. If you just cut it outside, you're faster than the linebackers chasing you, man. Like, take it outside. You're not a north-south guy. That's what 23 is for. When we run Roshan Johnson, the guy falls forward. Like, Swift gets boggled up and he goes down.
Yeah,
man. I'm going to read a couple more tweets that absolutely blew my mind yesterday. The Bears' first quarter points this season, they've scored twice in the first quarter all year. They scored a field goal in week 2 against the Colts, and then they scored a touchdown in week 5. That's it. They have 10 points scored in the first quarter all year. Absolute disgrace. The Bears have a league-high 19 false start penalties this season, and they've already had their bye. And that number might actually be false. They might actually have more. I'm not even sure if that's accurate or not. Still pathetic. And since leaving London, the Bears have had 30 possessions. They've scored 2 touchdowns since the London game. That's a drought of 19 drives and counting since their last red zone touchdown. Like, someone needs to get fired, and something needs to happen. Something needs to happen. Something needs to get done. I'm expecting by the end of the day, hopefully later than tomorrow morning, that Shane Waldron's been relegated and Thomas Brown, the passing game coordinator, is going to take over play calling duties.
It has to be today.
It has to be today. Jack, if you could, I would love for you to pull up the audio of Matt Eberflus this morning on ESPN 1000 if you can. He called into a local radio station. He does his morning bit on Mondays, and local radio host David Kaplan really laid into him and really laid into his phone reception, and it's just really worth a listen. Jack, you got that audio?
Played good football during the course of this year, and you got to pull those experiences.
Coach, your cell phone's as bad as the offense right now. All right, we'll put them on hold and see if we can reestablish. I mean, man, this is 2024. Can we get a freaking landline? Do it. Seriously. Get man a phone that works, please.
Thank you for that. I appreciate that. Although that's funny, what frustrates me is I wish they would have just canceled the morning Matt Eberflus call entirely. I mean, if he was going to get let go, that interview wouldn't have happened this morning. But
right.
I knew full well I was going to wake up to that news. I mean, if you're a real Bears fan, like, you're living in a delusional world where you think Matt Eberflus is suddenly going to get let go. It's not going to happen. They've never fired a head coach in the middle of the season. It's not going to happen. If it would have happened, it would have been the Mark Trestman year, where we lost by 40 plus points in back-to-back games. You know, like, we're not like at that level yet. But I'm truly trying to find another point in my Bears fandom where the vibes are at an all-time low. And I really think, this is worse than Nagy, because at least with Nagy, like, we knew what the roster was, we knew what the inabilities were with Nagy, and he was just an idiot, you know, like that's all it was. He was just an idiot. I think I'm more disappointed now is because we actually have talent on this roster. Like, this is the most stacked the Bears roster has been in a long time, at least for me, and I truly believe that. And we're just getting sold this promise that, like, they're going to figure it out, and they haven't. And clearly they don't have the right people at the top leading this team, coaching this team. And it's just a wasted season. It's a wasted season. You said it perfectly. It's a wasted season.
I've got another hypothetical for you. If this was truly a win now season, we can reflect here. Caleb Williams is the future for the Chicago Bears, but if we were a win now team, was a rookie quarterback the right choice? Should we have built around Justin Fields? Got Joe traded back, got all the picks that we talked about, got Joe Alt,
grabbed Fashanu at 9. You know, If we didn't go Odunze, you know,
we went with Keenan Allen, and we had DJ. We could have used Tyler Scott. We could have used I say Valus Jones, but we're not going to go down that road. But point is, in hindsight, should we have built the offensive line, and should we have stuck with Justin Fields? I don't know.
But and I know we're going down the rabbit hole here, and we're thinking all these hypotheticals of should have we done this and should we have done that. Player roster personnel decisions don't mean shit when you don't have the proper coaches in place to fulfill and succeed on offense.
Right.
The defense isn't a problem, folks. I know they've had their slip-ups in the last couple of weeks, and I know this team really hasn't been able to rebound since the Hail Mary. But, it's 2024. Teams are going to let up 19 points. It happens. The defense plays flat because the other side of the ball, the other unit that the Bears have, is fucking missing. They're not there. So the defense has added pressure on them to get fumbles, to get interceptions, to score. And that's not their job. Of course their job is to turn the ball over, but the defense can't be the whole team.
You can see the vibes are low. You can see the vibes are low on the defense completely. They were so just after they'd get a 3 and out, and you could just see them. Their body language just right, here we go. We've got another 30-second rest before we're back on the fucking field again because we can't move this ball. They look beat. When Montez Sweat had that penalty against him because he couldn't get on side in time from that Drake May play just before halftime. He is just for fuck's sake, what is going on with this team? And you think about Montez Sweat for a second here. He went from a shit franchise, came to the Bears and had a great season. He goes and looks at that shit franchise, and team players are apparently wanting to go there now. And he's like,
"Can I come back?"
Yeah.
Seems like you guys are heading the right. Seems like you guys are heading the right direction. And I was given a glimpse of maybe having some success here, and I'm not sure when that's going to happen again.
Yeah, and
the body language on some of the players yesterday, it was bad. It was poor to see. DJ Moore is another human. I don't think we'll ever truly know the true disconnect between him and Caleb this season, I'm not ready to say that those two don't get along or aren't trying to work on that chemistry, but something is clearly off, and I've never seen DJ Moore this visibly and emotionally frustrated, and you can see it in the game. It's not like you're seeing it on the sideline. He's in the game in showing how frustrated he is.
He never talks about it. He never says my relationship with Caleb is fine or anything like that.
He never will.
Do you know what though? He has kind of mentioned about the coaching. Is it? Are we reading into it saying he's frustrated with Caleb Williams, or are we reading into it saying he's frustrated with the?
I think everything.
Should we be? I think the play calling for me, the fact he's coming off the sidelines is because it's a broken play, and yes, he didn't get the ball, whatever, but it's a broken play because of the coaches. It's a broken play because of X, Y, and Z. Yes, Caleb's got a little bit to do with it still, but realistically, if you put a good coach in place, your number one paid wide receiver is DJ Moore. I don't know why you keep on throwing it to 1 year Keenan, who is not going to be here next year. For me, I want to see if we're going to really look at this roster, and we know Keenan's not staying here next year. We just know. Get Tyler Scott on the field. Why have we got 10 rotting on the bench? He's a speedster on the sideline.
I brought this up. We'll never know if Tyler Scott is a legit NFL wide receiver is because we don't give him opportunities to showcase his talents, just like we didn't do that with all the other receivers the Bears have had in previous seasons that are just missing on the depth chart because they don't get game action.
How do we get ready for next year? For next week? Not even next year. How do we get ready for next week?
November 11th, 2024, Monday morning, 11 o'clock a.m. I, John Presnowski, I officially mail in the season. I don't care what happens on Sunday. I know it's Packers week. I can't even think about Sunday right now. I honestly hope they blow us out by 40 points. Like that's truly where I am as a fan right now. Because if you guys truly want Eberflus gone, like it has to get even worse than it is now, and it still won't happen. Like he's still not going to get fired. But I'm checked out, man. I'm mailed out. I urge you guys, I urge all of you listening to this right now, remove your fan card this season. We talked a little bit about it a couple episodes ago, and I'm going to bring it up again. The season's gone, so all that matters right now is like small wins, like Caleb's progress, Rome's progress. Do we have any sign of life on defense, like individual player stats, sacks, interceptions? Like this is where we need to shift our focus, because the 2024 Bears, it's done, folks. It's over. Like it's over before it even started. This is where we are. And Jack, I talked to you about this right before we came on air, and I was going to bring it up right now. And I know we're a little bit over time, but I just wanted to mention it. It was a gift from the gods yesterday. I was in South Loop yesterday. I was about 25 minutes away from Soldier Field. I went to a Bears tailgate with my soon-to-be brother-in-law. And Ashley and I are looking at last-minute tickets. Like, can we go? We didn't have tickets all week. And everything was like over $200. I'm like, I'm not going to pay $200 to go to a Bears Patriots game. Like, I have no interest in that. I'm good. And thank the heavens that everything was too expensive, because I saved so much money by not going to that dog shit game yesterday. I am so thankful that I ended up going to a bar to watch the first half, and then I ended up on a couch to finish out the game, whatever game that was that I watched yesterday. It wasn't a game at all, really. I'm just so grateful I didn't go yesterday. I'm so happy. Like it's like a silver lining of like, yeah, we suck, but I could have been there yesterday, and I'm really glad I did.
That would have been worse. Oh my God.
The Bears do nothing well right now. They are a completely different team since the Hail Mary play, and I'm not sure what it's going to take for this franchise to pull its head out of its own ass. But we find ourselves at this crossroad. It's not even a crossroad. Like this team, this organization, it's sinking. It's been sinking since that play. I have never seen a Hail Mary play absolutely derail a franchise like it has. We are a different team since that play. This is a different team. This is just I'm out of words. How I feel this morning, and it's okay. I'm telling all of you listening right now, it is okay to mail in the season, turn in your fan card. Not fully turn in your fan card. Of course, I want you guys to still root for this team and wish them well, but like the season's over, guys. It's not worth it to get invested. It's not worth it to get upset anymore. It's a waste of your time. It's a waste of your energy. I mean, the playoffs were gone after Washington. Yeah. They were gone. So shift your focus towards individual player success. Shift your focus to, can Caleb Williams like turn his season around and show us that we have something to be excited about for the future?
Yeah, I'll take Packers. I want us to have a Packers win. That's all I want for the season. One Packers win, not two. I'm not greedy bastard. Just one. And I need DJ Moore to start getting some touchdowns, because he's screwing me over in fantasy football. That's about it. That's my 2 cents for the rest of the season.
Is that your wish list? Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, my wish list still is a clean pocket for our quarterback. I mean, I know I'm not asking a lot. That's what I have on my Christmas wish list.
I mean, that's pretty high up there, honestly.
He's Jack Lomax. I'm John Przezinski. This has been the Bare Necessities podcast. I think I try to lay it all out there today, and I know there's so much we didn't really get to, and there's still so much more we can discuss. But I think Jack and I are both as fed up as you guys are.
Tired.
And I'm just really not sure where we go from here, because this is embarrassing. This is pathetic, and we deserve better. And we've gone down the ringer before, and the fact that we find ourselves here again is just absolutely insane to think about, because I truly thought that these days of dysfunction and this clown organization of pitter-pattering around clear issues, and we're here again. And I don't know what it's going to take to change the direction that this team needs to take, but until it happens, I mean, we root for a clown franchise. We really do. And until something changes, I don't know what there is to celebrate this season. I really don't. And I'm not trying to be super negative and super pessimistic, but this is what this team makes me do. Mm-hmm. It really does. So, again, he's Jack Lomax. I'm Tom Presnowski. This has been the Bear Necessities Podcast. Be good, be well, and don't forget to bear down.